Direction always determines success. Hello and welcome to Biotechnica's brand new webinar on biotechnology, career opportunities, and paths to success. I'm your success coach, Shekhar Suman, and today I'm so happy to bring to you the biggest company in India in the biotech sector, the academic arm of Biocon, that's called Biocon Academy. It's a corporate social responsibility by Biocon, wherein they have taken up this responsibility to educate the youngsters and make them industry ready. Today, I'm happy to introduce you to Dr. Ishwaran sir. He is the academic director of Biocon Academy, who is going to show us the path. But before I bring him on the stage, on the in this live stream, I wish to thank all of you for joining in. Please confirm if you're able to hear me, see me, and then we'll get started. Now, I remember of a small childhood incident where I wanted to go to the ice cream shop when I was a kid, but I didn't know the direction, which way to go. My father always used to bring, but sometimes he will not bring and I'll be disappointed. So I will think that, what if I could go myself, but I didn't know which direction to go. So in the absence of direction, I went in the wrong direction and got lost. Somehow my father found me in the middle of the market and brought me back. Of course, he bought me ice cream, but he told me one very important thing. Remember, direction is very important. And that's what sir is all about today. He's going to tell you the direction. If you don't know the direction, you see biotech industry is a simple field. People have made it complicated, but it is a very simple field. All it says is, if you are employable, if you are job ready, they're ready to take it. Just day before yesterday, I was in a CEO workshop and I've heard all of them saying that majority of the students are not job ready. And that is where they really struggle. They have 20 plus vacancies in their companies and they're not getting employable people. And now Biocon Academy does just that. They make you employable, they train you, and if you are employable, if you pass through all their parameters, they themselves will absorb in Biocon itself. And they have 100% placement record. Now, the admissions are open for their course, about which I'll come a little later. But for now, let me bring on the stage our very own Dr. Ishwaran sir. Good evening, sir. Namaskar. How are you, sir?
Good evening. Namaskar. Doing well. How about you?
I'm doing great, sir. Thank you so much for joining us in this evening. I know your time is very precious and I will not take much of your time. So let's quickly get started, sir. What's your take on today's topic, biotechnology careers?
Biotechnology career has been the limelight topic anytime. Because it is a very wrong myth that is being created that biotech students don't get jobs. So it is very, very important to demystify this entire myth and clearly tell every biotechnology student that jobs are available. Absolutely, it is available. It's just a question of how your skills and your education and your skills matches to the job requirement. That's all is the question. Absolutely, there is no dearth for job. There is not even one iota of doubt anyone should have, whomsoever is listening to this webinar, that you will get a job or not. You will 100% get a job.
Right. So like sir said, you'll 100% get a job. So let's bring up on the presentation which sir has created for all of us. Sir, you can please get started.
Yes. Give me a second. Let me put it in full screen mode.
Sure. So sir has an amazing take on the biotech industry. Please listen to him till the end. And all of you, whoever is attending till the end, I'll give a feedback form. If you fill that feedback form, you'll be getting surprise gift from Biocon Academy and Biotechnica side. Please make sure you fill the feedback form. Over to you, sir. Please take over.
Wonderful. So thank you very much, Shekhar Sumanji. So and first of all, a very warm good evening to all of you who is logged into this seminar, and warm welcome to this talk. Okay, I would like to keep it as light as possible so that we can discuss as much as possible. And we'll start with a quick quiz to understand what is our direction is looking like currently. Okay, for me to do that, I need your help. I'm going to show you some pictures, and I would like you to recognize these pictures and put it in the chat. Whom do you think is in the picture? Shall we do that? So we have to recognize the person in the uh, slide.
So
Here you go.
students, you have to recognize the person in the slide, the pictures. Please mention 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can mention. So the first picture is whose? Okay, Mark Zuckerberg. Gautam says Mark Zuckerberg.
How do I see the comments here?
So you can see in the mobile I have.
Okay. Okay, I'm not able to. Anyway, so it doesn't matter. As long as they are saying it is Mark.
Yeah, it is Mark. That's what they all say. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. How about this person?
Okay, who knows this person? Madhu says Kiran Majumdar Shah. Yeah,
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Is there more than a couple of people says that? Say that.
a lot of people say.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Happy to hear that. And how about this gentleman?
Okay, let's see who recognizes the third picture. Who recognizes the third picture, guys? Let's see quickly. Okay, we are still waiting for the answer. The answer is not arrived.
Okay.
Yes. People are in a hurry to type. No spelling mistakes, guys. Okay, still we have
Yeah,
not
these are all
received
big
it.
personalities. So let's
Yeah,
see.
Cyrus Poonawalla. Yeah, we got the first answer from Sadia. Cyrus Poonawalla. That's the third picture. Who is the fourth one, guys? Fourth one. Okay, this is fun. Yeah, Dr. Cyrus is the third one. The fourth one. Okay. The fourth one. Who recognizes the fourth one? Should I give you a hint? We are still waiting. We are still typing,
If
thinking,
you would like
recognizing.
to get a clue from us, without these
Yeah,
two gentlemen, more than 50%
Dr.
of this population wouldn't be sitting and watching this.
Yeah, so we got the answers for the fourth one also. It's Dr. Ella.
Very
So
good.
yeah,
Excellent. Excellent.
Gautam, I guess Gautam gave the first answer. Dr.
Very nice.
Krishna Ella.
Very nice.
Yes.
Okay, so this is very very important. Okay, we need to know. I'm very happy that you know Mark. At the same time, I mean, Mark is gradually phasing out, and we are getting another person dominating. But still, when it comes to the biotechnology world, it is very very important that we should know who is who in this domain. Okay, because you are planning to start your career in the biotechnology field, and it is very very important to know who are the key opinion leaders in this segment. Dr. Kiran Majumdar Shah, founder, Biocon Group of Companies. Dr. Cyrus Poonawalla, founder, Serum Institute of India, from where we got the Covishield vaccine. And Dr. Krishna Ella, founder of Bharat Biotech International, from where we got the Covaxin vaccine. Right. So, if you want to add a couple of words about these famous personalities, without Dr. Kiran Majumdar Shah's strong vision, it wouldn't have been possible that India or the Asian subcontinent is having such a significant, impactful company called as Biocon. I'm not talking about the size of the company. I'm not talking about the number of people working in the company. I'm not even talking about the number of products made by the company. I'm talking about the number of people's life positively impacted by the company. That is very, very important. So that is Kiran Majumdar Shah. And Dr. Cyrus Poonawalla, I don't know if you know about this claim that every third child in the world who is getting vaccinated by the vaccine manufactured by Serum Institute of India. This is a big, big claim. Right? They're not talking about a country, they're not talking about a continent, they're talking about the world. So, in the entire world, every third child who is getting vaccinated, more or less, they are getting vaccinated by the vaccine manufactured at Serum Institute of India, that is located in Pune, in India. And Krishna Ella, all of you know very well that he's a pioneering person in the vaccine development, and he has a separate R&D in Bharat Biotech for vaccine development, and one of the very important player in the COVID vaccine field. That is the one we were getting, which is called as Covaxin. So the take-home message for all of us is that when we are serious about to set up a career in biotechnology, it is very important that we need to know who are the key opinion leaders. I'm not saying only these three are the key opinion leaders. These three are one of the significant key opinion leaders. There are a lot of biotech companies, there are a lot of biotech leaders you can follow through to understand how their lives has been. This is going to be a very, very important cornerstone in our decision making to continue in the field. Next, I would like to give you a broad outlook of what is the trend of biotechnology, particularly from a market segment perspective across the world and in India in comparison. As you can see here, 50%, more than 50% of the revenues is coming from the healthcare biotechnology in the global scenario, followed by the food and agriculture, then the natural resources and environment, industrial processing, bioinformatics, and other applications. If you see, there is a clear alignment of how the world is working and how the India is coping up to the global market. If you can see carefully in the right hand side, I would like to use a pointer so that it becomes easy for us. Let me pick up a pointer. Okay, so if you see this major segment, that is 62%, this 62% is coming from the biopharmaceutical, which is coming under the healthcare industry. Next, which you see as bioagriculture is coming from food and agriculture. So from globally as far as locally, nowadays there is a new term that is in practice, which is called as globally, which is India is no more an independent country. It is an integral part of the global ecosystem. So from that perspective, if you see, globally, if you see, the global healthcare and the Indian healthcare are absolutely matching to each other from the contribution to the revenue perspective, and followed by the food and agriculture globally and the agriculture biotechnology in India. Then comes bioinformatics. If you see, the bioinformatics comes under bioservices in India, and bioindustrial, which is coming under industrial processing globally. So the key message I would like to leave you with in this slide is that if you take Indian biotech market as an independent entity, it is perfectly aligning with the global biotech market. Now, the question here is, what is in it for me? As a student, what is in it for me? What should I know from this slide? From this slide, what you should know is that whatever biotechnology advancements that happens in the world, it is going to impact India also, and vice versa. Whatever biotechnology impact that is going to happen in India is going to impact the global market also, which means if there is an increase in the global intake for the biotech talents, there will be a increased intake for the Indian talents also. When I say talents, I am talking about the students who are coming from the biotechnology background, which means there is an immense amount of opportunities that are awaiting. I'll show you in a couple of slides how much increase we are talking about. So we are talking about an increase of 20%, 21% as a CAGR. CAGR refers to compounded annual growth rate. This is the index we used to measure how quickly or in what pace the market is growing. When I say 22% CAGR, the Indian biotech segment is growing, which means that there are not a lot of new opportunities are coming up. How new opportunities are coming up for the industry? It is coming in two ways. Number one, Indian government is strongly supporting something called as FDI. It's called as foreign direct investment. Through foreign direct investment, the companies who are situated outside of India can directly collaborate and work with Indian companies. What is happening because of this? What will happen because of this collaboration? Because of this collaboration, the capability of the Indian companies increases, because the markets to which the Indian company is serving increases, because of which the capability increases. Whenever there is a capability increases in a company, it is but natural for all of us to understand that is a need for human resource is also increasing. This is exactly what it means to us, which means when the market grows, the opportunity for every one of us grows. So this is very, very important for us to understand from a dynamics perspective how these two market works, the global market and the Indian market. Now coming to the biotechnology as a subject. I am sure all of us would have recognized by now that biotechnology is not a science. It is a faculty. It is not like microbiology. Microbiology is study of microorganisms. Zoology, it's a study of living beings or animals and so on. Right? It is not like that. It is an integrated part. It is a combination of microbiology. It is a combination of immunology. It is a combination of virology. It is a combination of molecular biology and so on. So, who is a biotechnologist? Whom should I consider as a very good biotechnologist? A person who is extremely interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary should be considered as a biotechnologist. Which means my sincere invitation to all of you is that please check how interdisciplinary you are. When you're studying biotechnology, are you focusing extremely high in only one subject and not focusing on other subjects? Are you focusing only on microbiology? Are you focusing only on immunology just because that is the subject you like? Please remember, if you have to be a successful biotechnologist to set up your career in industry or academia or in research, it is very important that you should be interdisciplinary in nature. It is not only to be interdisciplinary, it is very important to be multidisciplinary, which means like a music conductor who knows there are 5 to 10 instruments available in that room. There are extremely extremely qualified, unique people who can play these instruments. There are drums there, there are trumpets there, there are flutes there are violins there. So every instrument is being played by unique people who are extremely trained in these instruments. But who can make a meaningful music out of it is the conductor. The conductor is like a biotechnologist. The other way around is the biotechnologist is like a conductor, is like a music conductor who is having the capability to understand immunology also, microbiology also, virology also, molecular biology also, recombinant technology also, bioprocessing also, and mixing everything together in a certain proportion to create meaningful outcome. So the first level of understanding for all of us we need to understand is that are you interdisciplinary? Are you multidisciplinary? This is the first line of success. If you think you are, then you are ready for the industry or academia or research in biotechnology. As I told you, what are the areas which are strongly under development? I'm not talking about 20 years earlier, 30 years earlier. I'm talking about this particular decade. Within this decade, if you see, this is the market looks like. I'm talking just about one market taking USD as an indicator, but essentially the representation is the global biotechnology market. The global biotechnology market strongly depends on these key drivers. The key drivers includes fermentation, PCR technology, chromatography, cell-based assays, tissue engineering, nanobiotechnology, DNA sequencing, and others. I'll come to this others part little later. This is one of the very fascinating areas that is considered under the other segment. As you can see here, it is not only one subject that can be important. If you are studying a biotechnology, for example, if you are focusing only on fermentation technology as a part of your bioprocessing, or if you are focusing only on molecular biology, so you know about complete PCR technology. If you are focusing on downstream processing, so you know extremely good about chromatography. If you are focusing on bioassays, then you know about the cell-based assays. The point here all of us need to understand is that all these subjects are important because these subjects are not independent. These are not working in silos. You cannot discriminate. You cannot discriminate fermentation and PCR technology from an overall biotechnology perspective, which means if you are going to use a recombinant yeast, if you are going to use a recombinant E. coli as an expression system, then it is but natural to understand that you cannot run away from PCR to understand how the transcript is made, right? In spite of the fact that in the process you may not have to worry about PCR when it is coming to the fermentation. The same way, the understanding of chromatography is very, very important before you start doing fermentation. Because if you do the fermentation in a clean way, I'm sure you will understand that as a chromatography, as a downstream processing step, you will get a clean upstream residue, which means the downstreaming is very easy. The purification is very easy. Therefore, all these subjects are interdisciplinary and it is very, very significant. Now, I'm going to move completely on a broader scale to quickly go through what are all the opportunities that are available in the biotechnology market. Okay, so we have seen what are the trends in the global market. We have seen what are the trends in the Indian market. We have seen how a biotechnology should work. Who is a biotechnologist in making? Whether interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary person is already there or not. That we have seen. Also, we have seen what is important to focus on as a subjects. These are the combination of the subjects which are very, very important. Now coming to the application side. When it comes to application side, I'm not talking about academia, I'm not talking about research here. I'm completely focusing on biotechnology industry. In biotechnology industry segment, you have five sub-segments. I'm going to give you some names of the companies who are involved in this making, as well as I'll tell you what it is, so that all of us understand how immense the biotechnology jobs availability is. I'll start from biopharmaceutical. In biopharmaceutical, three major segments: recombinant therapeutic proteins, vaccine manufacturing, diagnostics. Recombinant therapeutic proteins is leading the entire biopharma. Gone are the days where we were extracting some of the very important hormones directly from animals. For example, insulin. Let us say insulin. Insulin has been directly separated, or it is extracted from the spleen of the pigs. In that case, imagine how many pigs we have to compromise to cater to the global insulin market, global insulin demand. Now the area is recombinant therapeutic protein. One of the important recombinant therapeutic, I'm just taking an example of insulin. Insulin is coming from a recombinant yeast called as Pichia pasteurus. So when you have the recombinant yeast, which is producing the recombinant protein called as insulin, this becomes very important. Companies like Biocon. I'm not only talking about insulin here. Recombinant therapeutic proteins include insulins, erythropoietins, GCSF, interferon alpha. All these products are recombinant therapeutic proteins, just to name some of them. Or if you are including some of the biologics, then we are talking about the whole array of monoclonal antibodies. All these comes under the recombinant therapeutic proteins. There are major players who are working like Biocon or Intas or Serum Institute and so on. Then comes to the segment called as subsegment called as vaccine. The vaccine is a very, very important sector. At least 5 years, 10 years before, this vaccine has not been considered as a very important segment. But after COVID, I think all of us learned it in a very hard way that we have to pay attention to vaccine and vaccine development. So there are a lot of companies in India who are making very important contribution in vaccine field like Bharat Biotech, or it can be Sanofi Shanta, or it can be Serum Institute, Hafkins, and so on, or Bharat Serum Vaccines and so on. I'm not taking all the names, I'm just taking some examples. Then comes to the diagnostic industry. I'm not talking about diagnostic kit manufacturers. I'm talking about diagnostics as an industry. Okay, when I say diagnostic as an industry, the preventive medicines and the preemptive diagnostics and so on. So people like Roche, the people like Abbott, people like Siemens, people like Jmitra, Span Diagnostics, and so on. These are the organizations who are into the preventive and preemptive diagnosis. So this is one major segment through which the biotechnology is being driven. That's why we call it as key drivers to the biotechnology market. Next comes the bioservices. As I told you in the earlier slide, what is the correlation between the global market and the Indian market? When the global market grows very fast, please remember in the global market, three important countries are making the contribution. That is US, Europe, and Japan. Three segments, three market segments are making important contribution. And when they are making this important contribution, lot of work is being offloaded to the developing countries. For example, clinical data management, pharmacovigilance, drug safety, all these works are completely offloaded to the developing countries, which means more the work, more the research work, more the product development the developed countries do, more the work the developing countries will get. That is how the CRO market came into picture. Contract research organizations like Quintiles, PDP, and so on, several organizations are there. These are called as contract research organizations. And these contract research organizations particularly hire biotechnology students because they are the ones who can very easily understand and write technically about the clinical research and the clinical research outcomes. Then comes the next segment called as CRAMS, that is clinical research and manufacturing solutions. When I say clinical research and manufacturing, contract research and manufacturing solutions, I'm sorry. So this contract research and manufacturing solutions are the smart hybrid between the CMOs and the CROs. It's a good combination, which means they do the development also and they do the manufacturing also for a small scale. For example, there are CRAMs like Chemwell in Bangalore and so on. Then comes the bioagri. As I told you in the initial slide, the next biggest contributor to the biotechnology market is the bioagri segment. In bioagri segment, the genetically modified organisms and genetically modified seeds make a very important contribution. Biopesticide and biofertilizers. I would like to generally give a information to all of you. If you are seeing any of the sugar industry in any of your locality, in your nearby locality, in some outskirts, wherever you are seeing a sugar industry, please remember there has to be a job for a biotechnologist there. There will be a job for a biotechnologist there because most of the sugar industries are very smart. What they do is that whatever byproducts they are getting from sugar making, that is bagasse and the molasses is used for fermentation and creating the industrial ethanol, and the bagasse is used for creating biopesticide and biofertilizers. Okay, for example, Beveria bassiana or mucor or fusarium, and biofertilizers. All these are created from the sugar waste, which means you need or they need a good biotechnologist who can help this conversion of these waste to the useful products that they can sell. I'm not only talking about the sugar industry, I'm just saying sugar industry because it is more widely spread. But there are specific companies who are working on biopesticides and biofertilizers where also you have job opportunities. Then comes to bioindustrial. For example, Biocon started as a bioindustrial company who successfully replaced the very dangerous chemical catalysis to a biological catalysis in the garment industry, textile industry, food industry, and so on. So this textile industry, food industry has been using chemical catalysis for a lot of transformation. Now it has been replaced through a safe enzyme replacements. Then comes the alternative fuels. Alternative fuels includes the biohydrogen production. I don't know if you know about the Reliance group of companies. Reliance has put up an open pond, a huge open pond in a place called as Jamnagar in Gujarat, where they are creating the algae, microalgae. They are producing microalgae for extraction of beta carotenoids and biohydrogen. Imagine who else other than a biotechnology student can manage a open pond without contamination. Absolutely, they are hiring a lot of biotechnologists. The last segment came as a very good answer for those of us who have been telling at our home that if you would have put me in computer science, in information technology, I would have earned better, I would have got a job better job. Now bioinformatics is a nice combination of biological sciences and computational sciences. These two combination is giving rise to database services, integrated research applications, and biotech software solutions. So this is the broad outlook or broad view of what are all the segments that are available, what are all the subsegments that are available who are hiring biotechnology students in India. As I told you, if you want to understand that biopharma is not the only segment, bioservices is not the only segment, bioagri is not the only segment, or bioindustrial or bioinformatics is not the only segment. I'm saying that you please keep your mind open. If you keep your mind open, you can utilize your science anywhere in this field. If you are open to that extent, finding a job is not at all a big problem. Okay, when you are ready for a job, as I told you, now you know what is the opportunity that is available. Within this opportunity, days are gone where we used to send the resume to the company, or we used to give the printed resume to the security, ask them to give it to the HR people. After that, it got evolved to sending the resume as an attachment to HR at info.com or info at company.com, HR at company.com, and patiently waiting for a response. Okay, these are gone. This model is gone. Now, all of us are in a technology world. When we are in this technology era, please remember, seeking a job is an art. You have to create a very strong LinkedIn profile for yourself. I'm just taking an example. I'm not promoting LinkedIn, by the way. So you have to create a very strong profile in the LinkedIn. Once you create a strong profile in the LinkedIn, you have to find out what is your alignment, which means that you cannot simply send a connection request to a person and ask, can you please give me a suitable job? Which doesn't mean anything. You should be the first person to know what is suitable for you, which means you need to understand what is suitable for you. For this, I'll give you some simple tips. This is not all, but this can just guide you in understanding where your interest lies. If you are a completely process oriented person who will follow the instructions correctly without any deviation, then you are absolutely cut out for a production job. If you have analytical bent of mind, and if you have knack, and if you have interest in working with complex equipments, then certainly you are cut out for quality control analytical job. If you are a strong microbiologist, if you're a biotechnologist having very good interest in microbiology, you want to either avoid the impact of microorganisms or you want to utilize the microorganisms. And if you know how to do that, and you are exactly cut out for quality control microbiology. If you have a very good domain knowledge, communication skills, and interpersonal skills, which are useful to get the job done by others, you are absolutely suitable for and quality assurance type of job. If you are a voracious reader and if you have an eye for mistakes, then you are cut out for regulatory affairs type of job. If you are a person having multiple ideas and you don't have a fear of failure, then you are cut out for R&D jobs. Please keep this as a guidance to understand what is your personality trait which you can align to some of the important departments in all these industries. Based on this, do some of the courses. Based on this, skill yourself. Your degree plus your additional qualifications, additional skills is going to easily fetch a job for you. I would like to give a broad idea about what are the companies that are scattered around India. The idea of this slide is not to tell you what are the names of the companies. Other than that, anyway, it is there. It is written there. You can read these names of the companies. But I would like to seek your attention in one particular thing. Please see that these companies are not located across India. These companies are located in specific group of cities. These are the cities which are having something called as special economic zones, which are identified by the government and the government is supporting. Which means if you are planning to find a job next door, it is not possible. Which means that if you really want to utilize your degree, you've done 4 years BTech or BE, if you have done 5 years biotechnology, BSc biotechnology, MSc biotechnology, I think this is high time that you have to tell your parents that you are not going to get job within your own locality. If you are living in that locality, it is well and good. But if you are not living in this locality, jobs are available in these special economic zone cities. It is our duty to go and find these jobs. This is why upfront in the slide, in the presentation, I told you the jobs are plenty. If you don't want to believe me, please don't believe me. What you can do is that you can take your mobile, you can go to naukri.com and type as biotechnology freshers. If you are getting anything less than 10,000 jobs, total of 10,000 posts, let us not go forward in this slide at all. Okay, which means that many jobs are available every time. I'm not even talking about 1 year experience, 2 year experience. I'm not even talking about lateral entries. I'm talking about fresher jobs across the industry segments. What I told you, it could be agriculture microbiology, it could be industrial microbiology, it could be biopharmaceutical, it could be bioinformatics, or it could be software solutions. So across India, a lot of companies are working in all these different segments and plenty of jobs are available. Okay. When all these jobs are available, now the question is, are the biotechnologists readily employable? Here I would like to quote what Mr. Shekhar Suman was mentioning in his introductory note. It is a common notion that are we job ready? When you say are we job ready, what is this question meaning to you? Is that is your educational qualification equivalent to skill? The unfortunate answer is maybe no, maybe not. Why it is not equivalent? Why it is not equivalent is because what the industry is looking for is the application knowledge a person brings out of his educational qualification. Is this ability to change, is the ability to convert the theoretical knowledge to application knowledge is already with you or not is the biggest question you need to answer yourself. For this, we need to go through this steps. Step number one, when you are studying biotechnology from today onwards, please see whether you are learning on an experimentation base or a process base. Which means if you are doing a experiment, are you learning something as an independent experiment? For example, if you are doing fermentation, it's a simple experiment. You would take a sugar containing solution, add yeast, wait for 5 days, you'll get ethanol. The ethanol is produced because of fermentation. The fermentation experiment is completely demonstrated. But is that what you want? If you want to convert it to a process based learning, what is important is that you need to understand whether the yeast which you have inoculated in day one is the one that is producing the alcohol up to day 5, which means every day if you take a sample and see whether only yeast is there, then you are getting ready towards the industry. That is the conversion, that is the transition between experimentation based learning to a process based learning. You may be studying individual techniques. Are you able to make application? You are able to make connection how the techniques are applied as a technology in the industry. For example, if you are studying about bioluminescence, are you able to find out how bioluminescence as a technique used in the industry for rapid identification of microorganisms? These are the technical areas. This is also important. All the more important is the other areas what I'm going to talk to you. One of the important is moving from individual to team. So far in all your colleges, would have been told that your CGPA is important, your project is important. It is important, no doubts about it. But please remember, you have to gain the knowledge and you have to get the knack of working in a team, which means you should understand the team goal is more important than the individual goal. You have to develop this skill in you, because when it comes to industry, sometimes it may so happen that your name itself is forgotten. You will be referred to as you are a R&D person, you are a quality person, you are a regulatory person. That's all. Your name itself becomes insignificant. The most important thing is communication skill. My sincere invitation to all of you, please develop very strong communication skill. I am talking about two different communication skills here. One is the oral communication skill, another is the written communication skill. You should know how to write good emails, because I'm extremely afraid that this particular segment, what I'm talking about, is very difficult to move to a structured email writing, because nowadays we are completely used for what is that we are writing in a WhatsApp or in an Instagram. Only few letters we are using to denote some words. There is no need for a grammar there. But when it comes to industry, the communication should be very clear, very precise, and it should be correct, both in terms of verbal communication as well as in terms of written communication. So my sincere invitation to all of you is that please develop this skill, focus on the skill, work on the skill. When I say all this, please remember, it is not independent skills that matters. It is a combination of all these skills that matters. Coming to the penultimate slides. Now we have said what is the industry is looking for and what is the academia is delivering to you and how to prepare yourself. Now, what are the opportunities that are available for you to prepare yourself, for you to skill yourself? I'll take two examples, pan India, and two examples which are restricted to some of the states and the city. I'll take the example of BITP. BITP, you don't have to do anything. Just say BITP in the Google and search. You will get BITP exams. If you search, you will get the entire information about BITP. BITP is conducting two exams, or they are conducting exams twice a year. Every 6 months, they conduct an exam. And through this exam, they onboard a lot of students and they give placement in the industry as an intern. As an intern, you can work for 6 months in in an industry, and for which BATP is supporting you with stipend. I'm not saying how much stipend because it's not that relevant. You can go and see in the BATP website itself, right? So this is a pan-India initiative. It is a central government initiative coming under DBT, Department of Biotechnology. The other two state-wise initiatives, if you are in Karnataka, Karnataka government is making a very, very important provision for the biotechnology students, which is called as Biotechnology Finishing School. This Biotechnology Finishing School is again a 6 months internship leading to a certificate in biotechnology, which will again gives you job opportunities. The third one is LSSDC, that is Life Sciences Sector Skill Development Council, that is currently operating in Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Baddi for giving these courses. But across India, they are also giving the QPs, that is quality packs, through different industries and organizations. This is also one of the important skill development council. Coming to the fourth one, which is again the Pan India initiative, is Biocon Academy, which I am representing. When it comes to Biocon Academy is a CSR arm of Biocon Limited, and Biocon Academy follows a very strong four quadrant principle. We have theory, we have functional visits, that is experiential learning, we have hands-on training given to the students, and professional skills development training given to the students. For this, what we are doing is we are collaborating with different education organizations, top-ranked educational organizations as education partners. For example, Keck Graduate Institute is located in California. We are collaborating with Keck Graduate Institute, California, to offer Biocon KGI certificate program in biosciences. This is a 5 months program, 3 years, 3 batches a year, and 22 batches we have completed. All these 22 batches has been 100% placed. As Mr. Suman was mentioning, fortunately, with all the support of the stakeholders, we have been giving 100% track record. Okay. Following that, we have collaborated with BITS Pilani, which is one of the premier institute in India, and we started offering certificate program in applied industrial microbiology, 2 months program, one batch a year. We have completed 9 batches with 100% placement, and following which we have collaborated with Ramaya group of institutions, and we started giving MS Ramaya Biocon Ramaya certificate program in quality control analytical. 2 months program, one batch a year, 4 programs we have already completed. Again, 100% placement we have clocked. The recent addition is the JSS AHER program, Biocon JSS AHER certificate program in global regulatory affairs. We are in the second batch. Okay, 4 months program, one batch a year, 100% placement in the last batch. For biosciences, batch number 24, batch 23 is currently in progress, and batch 24 we are doing the admissions. The admissions are ongoing. And for the functional visits, for the experiential learning, we are sending the students to different departments like quality control, quality assurance, microbiology, regulatory affairs, research and development. To all these departments, we are sending to Biocon and Biocon Biologics. For hands-on training, we are sending them to Thermo Fisher, Merck, and Biosyn, and the very important corporate communication training, that's a professional skills training, is in collaboration with Ramanan & Co. And we have a communication coach in-house. She is also coaching on day-to-day basis on all these skills and monitoring the improvements. Because of this, we are able to clock 100% revenue, 100% placement in all these companies. I'm just taking a small list of companies. More than 42 companies are enrolled into Biocon Academy's placement drive. So this has been the success story with the Biocon Academy, and I leave you with this thought that it is very, very important for all of us to understand that we have to deserve before desire, which means the qualification what we are gaining from the college may not be enough. So you have to skill yourself before you planning to enter into either of the industry or research or academia, so that you have a long career with any of the segment. Best wishes to all of you.
Thank you so much, sir. That was really insightful. So students, we will be open to questions now. Please go ahead and type your questions. In the meanwhile, sir, I was completely floored by the quantum of information shared today. That was amazing. We loved it. And I could see there in the chat box, everybody has been writing this, that this is the need of the hour. This webinar was the need of the hour, and they all loved it. So students, now you can start asking your questions. I will be taking questions from now. So even if you've asked, please rewrite it here so that we'll take it from now on. And we have 15 minutes to take up the Q&A. And yeah, so we're getting a lot of praises for you, sir. I'll just display it on the screen. Nirmala says, very helpful and thoughtful to decide or choose best option and career. Thank you so much, sir. Next one is priceless guidance, very informative. And I'm still waiting for the question. Okay, there is a question from Kirti. Sir, can you also give some tips on human genetics? Over to you, sir.
Oh my God, that's all new subjects you are opening up, because the Human Genome Project has come to an end, and that has actually opened up a Panora box, which means
Right.
that now we have the capability to predict the genetic disorders upfront. There is a
Right.
new set of industries, and the testing facilities has come up in India. You just send a saliva sample, they will tell you in next 50 years what are all the diseases you may incur, so that you can be completely preventive, adjust your lifestyle, everything can be done. So human genomics is a huge opportunity for all the biotechnology students on one side. On the other side, the human genomic genetics should also be understood from the big data perspective. So if you are really looking for exciting jobs, I would really like you to focus on human genetics and R programming. If you skill yourself with R programming and apply for data analyst, then you are going to get into a very exciting job altogether.
Wow. Sir, while you were finishing, one very important question came up, and you were showing the programs of Biocon Academy. This question has come up: how to enroll for these programs? If you could throw some light on this.
Sure, I would love to do that. So we are advertising the programs in the social media like Instagram, in the LinkedIn, and in our Facebook pages. In addition to that, you are also getting the information from Biotechnica, and we
Yeah.
are also publicizing the availability of these courses in bioconacademy.com website. So in any of these platforms, when you are getting such notification, you just click on to any of this. Any clickable option you click, it will take you to the landing page at Biocon Academy website. In the website, you have the program details. Before applying to any program, my sincere guidance to all of you would be, please understand what you are getting into. Please go through the curriculum. Please go through the program details. What is the duration? What is the fee structure? Everything is given in the website. Absolutely, there is no hidden cost. Absolutely, there is nothing hidden in that. Okay, please go through the entire information, and then you have an option to apply now. So if you press apply now, it will take you to our portal. In our portal, we will get the application. After we get the application, you will get a call from our coordinator to guide you through the entire admission process.
Right. So that answers your question. Excellence Hub. Now, coming to the next question, which we have is, okay, a lot of questions now. So one second. Okay. Is there any internship opportunity available in Biocon by Jayanti?
Yes, of course, internship opportunities will continue to be available with Biocon Group of companies, because internship is one of the very important source through which we get to know what is the talent that is available. Two types of internships are available. One is called a student internship, and another is called as work internship. The work internship is now gradually getting a new phase called as NAPS, that is National Apprentice Promotion Scheme. So which means that you can apply for student internship, or you can apply for NAPS program. So I would like you to make a note of NAPS, search in the Google, directly you can apply for NAPS.
All right. There's one more question which I missed earlier. Can you provide any online course for regulatory affairs?
Okay, we are in the thought process of doing that. At least for the regulatory sciences course, at least for the regulatory affairs course, we are in the thought process. There are certain amount of information that has to be tweaked before we take the decision.
Right.
Because when it is inside of Biocon, we have the ability to show a DMF. We are able to get the flexibility and freedom to show a CTD. But when it is online, if you have to open it to the air, then we have to make some adjustments. Once we do that, I think it should be available.
Right. So next question is from Tushar Kanodia. He asks, which is more dominant, vaccine technology or industrial biotechnology?
How is it too different? I'm not able to understand. Okay, vaccine technology is absolutely a part and parcel of industrial biotechnology, unless you are separating industrial biotechnology as industrial enzymes and alternative fuels. So industrial biotechnology is a large umbrella under which the vaccine technology is considered.
It comes.
Please remember, vaccine technology will continue to evolve. I'm not saying that just because newer diseases are coming up, but the
Mm-hmm.
awareness among the people to be preventive is increasing. This is very
Right.
important. The healthcare
Right.
awareness is increasing. Because of the
Right.
increased healthcare awareness in the existing population, the vaccine market is growing.
Certainly, certainly. That was very insightful. So next question, sir, is from Aishwarya, and she wants to know how to apply for hands-on training in Biocon.
The hands-on training through Biocon has to be through Biocon Academy, because as you know very well, when it comes to industry, we cannot do something hands-on unless you are qualified to do so. For example,
Right.
if you are getting into manufacturing, if you want to run a fermenter, you should have been qualified to run a fermenter. Which means that
Right.
before getting qualified, if you want to get an internship or a hang of how it is done, it is a good idea to go through Biocon Academy.
Wonderful. So the next question is from Learnology, and she or he asks, I have 2 years education gap. Can I go to Biocon Academy?
See, the education gap, generally we prefer to keep it in a range of 1 year, for the reason that the recruiters for Biocon Academy is specifically insisting on that. That is one thing. Second thing is that is not preventing you from applying for Biocon Academy. If you
Right.
have a reason to do that, for example, if you have taken a break for maternity, or if you have taken a break for studying for a entrance exam, you are preparing for medical, so you have a certain reason to take a break, right? So if you prove that this is the reason why you are taking a break, and if it is acceptable, certainly we are not considering this 2 year break coming in between that mission, for sure.
All right. The next question is from Simran Preet, and she asks, what is the salary we can expect as a fresher?
So I'm not here to give you any number, because the numbers are very relative in nature, right? So
Right.
the best way is to connect with some of your seniors you have got. They have got jobs in the biotech industry, to understand what is that they are getting. That is number one. Number two is there are a lot of sites like Glassdoor, which gives a bracket idea about for which level of job, what type of CTC you can
Salary.
expect, salary you can
Yeah.
expect. These are the couple of
Right.
ways you can do it.
Right. So the next question, okay, there are some repeat questions. I'll skip that. Can you tell how to enroll for programs offered by Biocon you posted? So yeah, we have already answered that. It's on our website, Biotechnica, as well as bioconacademy.com. You can go ahead and check that. Otherwise, I will email everybody about the programs which Biocon has, so that it'll be easy for everybody to go through that. Okay, Mihir has a question. Can we become a biologist through biotechnology? Yes, of course, I guess.
Yeah, of course.
Last I checked, yes, of course. Okay. Tushar Kanodia, which one is more dominant? Okay, we've answered that question. Sir, I'm in third year BSc Biotechnology, Trisha Roy. What should I seek after my undergraduation?
There are two different paths, Trisha Roy, if I'm not wrong. So one is the job market. Okay, if you are not prepared for doing a post graduation immediately, I think you can look at the
Right.
job market. Please remember only one thing, that if you are undergraduate, then the level of job you are joining will align to that. Okay, which means that you'll be working as a machine operator, or quality control analytical assistant, and so on, right? If you really want to have a steady and growing career, it is very important that you have to skill yourself much more.
Right. So I hope that answers the question, Trisha. Next question is from Pranesh. Could you touch a little more upon bioinformatics as well, sir?
Bioinformatics, please remember, because of bioinformatics, the total research cycle, the drug development cycle has shrunk. The research cycle has shrunk, which means that the amount of time we were taking to convert a hit to lead has really reduced, drastically reduced, because most of the work is done in silico before we touch and do anything in the lab, which means 99% of the work is done in silico, and only 1% is done in the lab, which is called as the in vitro validation. After in vitro validation, the actual journey starts as a lead molecule. So certainly bioinformatics will continue to play a very, very important role in drug development, not only in drug development, in research as it is.
Right. So the next question is from Atira. The question is, sir, can you please explain more about the training programs you mentioned? So, sir, I think you have already mentioned. Would you like to answer that question?
No, I think it is not very easy to explain one by one. So I would really encourage you to go to Biocon Academy website and have a look at. We have spent considerable amount of time to develop a good website. So it has a
Right.
lot of information. The entire curriculum is posted there. So I would really encourage you to go and look at it.
Right. And one thing I can personally recommend to all of you is Biocon Academy's in-house, all these experts, they really train in a very elaborate manner. They make you industry ready, and then they place you in these 45 plus companies who do the placement through Biocon Academy. So if in case you're looking for a job immediately after your bachelor's or master's, you must join Biocon Academy's courses. So the next question, sir, is from Hitisha Valecha, and she is asking, I got to know about many fields, but after BSc and MSc in biotechnology, how to enter a particular biotech field?
As I told you, one of the easiest way is to align your project. As Now you know what are the different segments in biotechnology. Align your product to either one of these subsegments. For example, when you are doing a MSc project, find out can you align the MSc project for a bioagri, for a biodiesel, for bioinformatics, for recombinant therapeutic protein. So if you start aligning, then it becomes easy for you to search job based on your project, because project is the one where you are going to spend a lot of time in the lab and you get an opportunity to work on different equipments. These two is the very, very important combination industry is looking for as a precursor.
Right. So the next question is from Arup, and he says that my age is 35. Will it be very late to get into industry? Currently, I'm working as a biochemistry lab technician.
There's nothing called as late. It is only the question of how best you are aligned to the job. If you are spending a lot of, you have already spent a lot of years in one particular field, then you have to find out what are the other fields where it can be aligned, whether your qualification or your experience can be aligned, and you can move on. I don't think age is a limiting factor to get a job in the biotech industry.
All right. The next question, sir. I think the questions are never ending. Yashika is asking, what is the scope of applied sciences if we are not a biotechnology student?
See, biotechnology is one of the segment in the applied sciences. Science is a much broader purview to look into. So I don't want you to think that you are not a biotechnologist. It's just the question of how efficiently you convert the science what you are studying to the applications in biotechnology. For example, in science, if you are studying microbiology, in science, if you are studying chemistry, in science, if you are studying botany or zoology or whatever you are studying, there is a possibility to easily correlate these sciences to applications in biotechnology. If you are studying zoology, it is very easy to find out how you can become an animal healthcare provider from a biotechnology perspective. You can find a job in animal vaccine development. So it's only the question of how you look at it.
Right. So I hope that answers your question, Yashika. Next question is from Mansi, and that is, can biotechnology students enter into the food industry, quality control and quality assurance, drug designing, etc.?
Yes, 100% yes. if you are learning your science in a specialized field like food biotechnology, then it becomes easy. For example, the courses that are offered at CFTR and so on. But if you are studying general biotechnology, so absolutely it cannot limit you from getting a job in the food industry, because you are studying food biotechnology as a part of your curriculum, right? So every paper what you are studying is a field. If you are studying environmental biotechnology, it is a separate field. If you are studying food biotechnology, it's a separate field. So what you have to do is you have to find out what are the industries who are working in these areas, what the specialized industries, companies who are actually working in these areas. Once you identify these companies, then as I told you, build a LinkedIn profile and share a contact and get onto it.
Right. So with this, we come to an end of our session. I'm sure a lot of questions are still pending, but since we have run out of time, so we will have to end this session here. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us and enlightening our students with all these helpful insights. I myself, I learned a lot today about a lot of newer things which I was not aware of. And certainly I will be in touch with you on behalf of our students who wish to take admission in Biocon Academy. And students, I'll be sending the feedback form now. Please make sure you fill it. And in the next 48 hours, I'll email you your surprise gift. Okay, so be sure to fill that. It is a joint surprise gift from Biotechnica and Biocon Academy. Now, coming to the last part, as sir has already said, admissions are right now going on. Sir, which is the batch we're talking right now?
Batch number 24.
24th batch, we have the admissions are going on. So if anybody is interested, I will make sure that I will send an email to all of you with the links to those courses. If in case you are interested, please go ahead and take it. All of you keep asking me how to get a job in the biotech sector. What if you get a job from Biocon Academy, via Biocon Academy into the biotech industry? Biocon Academy opens a doorway of success for all of you. So if in case you want to do that, and given that they are corporate social responsibility, they spend heavily on each student. So they are very selective in taking students. So make sure that when you are applying, you are writing a good, convincing forwarding letter. Otherwise, Ishwaran sir will reject your application. So make sure you do that, right? So because thousands of people apply to Biocon Academy, and I personally know that. So please make sure you are applying with the proper forwarding letter. And this is it. Thank you so much, sir, for joining. And all the students, write to me if you have any questions. I'm sharing the feedback form once again. And I'll be sure to send across all the program details of Biocon Academy in the next 48 hours. Thank you so much. Good evening and good night. Bye-bye.
Thank you to all of you.
Thank you, sir.